recording, and this is start streaming. And there we go. Well, hello everyone for the 16th Rank War Master multiplayer test. Today we're going to show a few upgrades to the system, but also kind of at least start the game with a kind of walkthrough from my perspective. I realize from a lot of these tests and such that we're getting into it, we're playing and all the rest of that stuff, but it's not really showing how, if you're playing single player, how you'd go about doing this. I will hope to release a separate video, which is more of like a how to play, sort of a let's play, if you will, to get more of an indication of how the game's put together. A lot of the stuff is handled by Jordan from previous streams, so I wanted to make sure that, at least in this case, the latest and greatest can be seen. So, without further ado, I will get the game going.
Okay, volume sounds good.
That's good. Of course, I have to go through that. There we go. I always have to switch over to the game versus just the picture. So, all right. Hopefully the volume turned down long enough. Is the volume for the game too extreme?
Let me check.
And of course, the camera's getting all blurry.
The volume for the game and for me, I guess, is both a bit loud.
All right, then I will lower that volume. It's always a
So I was multitasking a little bit. So you want to do the mayor stuff this time then?
I want to do the at least the first time through, yes.
Sure.
Just so that we're server up, by the way.
I will be the squadron leader.
Fair enough. Adam, you joining?
Yep.
And by the way, we're gonna, if you're interested, tomorrow, I need to make some standalone videos of this. And one of the biggest things that I should announce, of course, is the crowdfunding for Rank War Master is actually live. Check us out on Indiegogo, and we have a lot more information there, of course, and we plan to add more. If you have any questions, please do ask, and yeah, we'll go from there.
I am not able to load multiplayer.
Okay, so you are able to load multiplayer.
I clicked on it several times, it wasn't moving. Now I'm in.
Well, now you're in, so okay. Sure, your mouse isn't dying or something?
No, it might have been just some graphics program.
Okay. You gotta select your ship and all that,
Yep, that's working on.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going in. So I should pull my throttle back, actually. Not crashing the people. So, just to get things a little more interesting. So who wants to be
User entered your channel.
Hello.
Hello.
We just started up. So I have a challenge for you.
For me?
Well,
like
for
challenges.
anybody who's online and in the game right now.
Okay, I'm just joined in to let you guys know that I have a apartment touring to do at 4 p.m.
Paul, we're live streaming.
Okay, sorry. I'll duck back out and come back when I can.
Thank you.
User disconnected from your channel.
And so, in any case, what I'd like you to do is pick a target and shoot out their reactor or their thrusters.
So I'm assuming you mean one of us.
Yes.
Okay, Ernest, you know what this is.
And here's everybody going at it. Let's have the bird's eye view of things here.
I don't think you're supposed to try to get away, Ernest.
Why not?
All right, fine. I'll engage. Oh, Ernest, since you actually have a pulse spaceship,
Yeah.
fire at the ground and watch what happens.
There, I took out his thrusters.
I will after I get repaired.
Really?
That's pretty interesting. I fired at the ground. Nice explosions.
Yes. So the ground actually detects things again. Here, this isn't a good test. So why don't you go up? All right. So now that you're up, stay up there. Cut your engines if you would, please.
Engines are off.
All right. So I'll fly right past you here. See, now your engines are blown out, but watch what's happening to you.
Oh, that's interesting. Gravity is here.
I turned gravity on. Yay! So now when you start blowing up ships, they'll actually drop like rocks to the ground. Problem is we're up like several thousand feet, so dropping like rocks takes a little while until you hit the ground, and then you hit the ground, then poof. And there you go. So now you actually have salvage in the sense of the ship's not going off into the ether, never to be seen again.
It also means that, it'll be way easier to parse which things in the area are still active.
Pretty much. So that's the first thing. So I can either do a normal demonstration of how to play the game, or I can demonstrate how to make a Cthulhu ship.
I mean, I think you were talking about, you wanted to show people a little more of the stuff that I do each week, so
I
probably...
do, but I want to do that straight through, but I also want to show the new updates that I've done too. So we're gonna have to cut this up anyway. Alright. So if you just want me to build a base and such like that, then I'll do that from my screen.
Yep.
Alright, so I went into the nav screen, which could be done
get a little
either
bit of a head start.
through the Omnivol. Well, you guys want a challenge anyway. So this is around where my ship happens to be. I can zoom out and see the other base way the hell over here. I can see our people over here. Now I can double click on the builder bot, and that means it gives me control of it. Alright, someone's going too happy with their keyboard there. And so what I did was I just told it to build our first building, which is the reactor. And this is generally what Jordan always sees when he's playing the game, because he like kind of lives in this screen.
Makes it a lot easier to write that tutorial.
That too. Now, mind you, despite everything that's going on here, everybody's still running around doing their own thing. Now, right now, we could go over to the enemy base and see what he's doing, for example. So I'm going to change the orientation of things here. And yes, you can spin it around. Yeah, as you can see. And zoom in and zoom up and down and zoom and change this all around. Yay. So, as you would expect. You can also double click on where you want to go, and it will automatically center on what you're playing with. So as the crow flies using the nav screen, I can see that they only have 3 buildings up so far. They're already doing better than we are because we're still... Hell, I think they just built the reactor.
But we had to blow Ernest out of the sky.
That too. That was a moral imperative. But now the quick way to get back to the builder bot is again, clicking once on the builder bot takes you there. Double clicking it takes you and centers it. So he's now done doing the reactor that's here. So I'm going to tell him to start building research building, because without that, we're just going to be sitting here doing nothing. So so there it goes. Now the reason why it was paused out over there is because it's got to research something they can actually build. In general, once we get this research center up and running, now I'll build a warehouse just because I can. I'll put it here, I guess. But now that we actually have a research building, I can go into research and click on the different buildings. And so the first thing we'll, of course, do is get mining. And it will start mining. Now, again, this is what Jordan was usually doing the last couple live streams. Mind you, as you can probably hear the game still going on in the background. As soon as the enemy actually has a mine, refinery, and a factory up, we will get swamped with ships. Because
Well, you won't anymore because the E button still works.
Why did you blow them up?
I did not do that on purpose. I was moving stuff across my keyboard and it hit the E button, and that was
What did you blow up?
the
Blew up Matt.
No, the builder bot.
I mean, somebody did blow me up, but I don't know if it was Ernest.
I mean,
I was
not
falling
their
out of-
builder bot.
All
Their
right.
builder bot's moving.
Oh, then it must have been that I targeted by accident.
I'll push
Yep.
you fire.
I'm glad the builder bot started moving. I was about to go down there and nudge it.
Oh, with the enemy builder bot, you mean?
Yeah. Said it's kind of skipping a lot.
Well, if he blew it up, then on my end, I'm not seeing any skipping.
I don't think I had it targeted.
All right, yeah, he's definitely building over there. I'm watching him do it.
Yeah, no, but he was doing that kind of skip fly around thing that sometimes happens when you're near the edge of terrain, which he is.
Like I said, when the new guy gets in there, it'll get kind of done up. What's he doing? Building turrets?
Like a turret.
He's building a turret. That's what he's doing. So if anybody really cares, I'll just zoom in on that. Turret's just sitting there straight up. And there goes the enemy builder bot to go off and do something else. Presumably to go build another one. Might be skipping on the ground, I don't really know. In any case,
Maybe.
I will go back to our builder bot. Because he can now start building other stuff now. So I'm going to tell him to go build me a mine. And while it's doing that, I'm going to come back in here and get a refinery going. And after that, we want a factory. So now, every time I re-enter the navigation screen, which is what the RTS screen here is, it always takes me to where my ship is, what I'm piloting personally.
But you know, I would like it to not do that personally, but it's not a high priority.
Well, no, if that's what you want, then that can be a feature. It can be one of those option things. We're going to end up having a massive option screen about what should or should not be there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'd prefer the nav screen to just center on where I last was in the nav screen.
Usually I find it helpful because sometimes you kind of get lost. Oh yeah, by the way, I am trying to get a cancel button put in, so when things kind of go, when the builder bot goes crazy or some of the other ships aren't really responding, we can tell them to stop, you know? So,
Big bugs I found while writing the tutorial.
something like that. Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, this is still early alpha, boys and girls. It is what it is. There's still definitely some twitchiness involved here.
The current bug is our ships sometimes have a tendency to interpret a move order as go on a long soul-searching journey and
That's
never come back.
very true. That is very that's quite true. So, interestingly enough, now I just built those buildings, and I have the messages from here showing, you know, all these things that happens. So let me close this up. Here is the actual installation. Now I can see what I have And what Jordan and Matt has, as far as the ships and things that they have, for example, I can turn on and off the reactor. So, for example, if I turn off the reactor, the power is going to go down. And get back on just for amusement value. Now, I know from personal experience that if I do another research center, it's going to overwhelm the reactor, so I'm going to build another one. But I am
we
going
have one
to.
reactor and one research. You can typically do two. That's what I
Not
found.
all the other buildings.
I don't know what else is built. I've been staring at the builder bot like a gargoyle.
Yes. So I have upped my budget so I get more of the refined materials coming in.
They've produced some kind of. Yep. Its silhouette looks exactly like a sheriff's badge.
Excuse me. So I'm gonna put that
What is
other
that?
reactor. Oh, they're starting to produce ships over there?
Yep, one's airborne already.
They're not very tough. I just reactored that one.
Well, as I said before, they're we usually refer to them as gnats. So let's see what's going on over here. Yep, there they are. So you're taking pot shots at them. Well, here, tell you what, I'll watch your dogfight.
I shot the gnat. I believe I reacted the gnat. I believe it's Is it plummeting?
I don't know.
No, it looks like it's still moving in a direction.
Let me get a zoom
There
in.
we
Oh,
go.
you got him. So as you can see, this as an nav screen, this is really representing everything in true 3D space. Not that, you know, flying your ship isn't 3D space, but this gives you a different God's eye view of everything.
Those gnats are pretty impressive.
Impressive.
Yeah, one shot just took out my reactor.
Well, that's a problem.
Literally just one, not even a second.
Well, our starting ships aren't terribly impressive either.
No,
Yeah,
but
when
theirs
you
are
went to
worse,
disable
but
my
they're,
engines-
yeah.
When you went to disable me, Jordan, it took a little longer than that.
You gotta keep in mind the lucky shots also.
Jeez, we can get Matt back in the game. You mind hitting
Oh, you want me to bring everybody back in, alive? Okay.
Oh, wait, is that, was that
They
you
live!
who destroyed me, Adam?
Yeah, I was just testing the system.
Yeah.
You dropped like a rock.
Oh yeah, no, he did, and that was on purpose.
I was trying
So-
to push you back into the battle, but it's not going so well.
Yeah, the turrets were less deadly than the gnats.
Yeah, we gotta change that so the turrets are more deadly than the gnats.
Here we go, now you're flying.
Yeah.
Are those missiles? I see.
Are they shooting missiles at you?
Yep.
Well, that's a problem.
I'm like, what is that odd shaped object?
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, the builder bot seems to have gone to La La Land.
Now you should be a lot more careful when you're diving. Because when you're trying to pull up, you're fighting against gravity.
Yeah. A little bit. I guess that's why I'm kind of on the ground. I have to adjust the thruster equation so that it compensates for gravity first, and then it moves you. So, since our builder bot seems to have gone off the deep end, although what is this? Is this one of their? Oh yeah, this is one of theirs. Huh. All right. I'm gonna thrust up and see if I can get it. By the way, if you notice, when you hit the ground now, it stops you. Go figure.
Yeah, significant friction, which is nice.
Oof, that was a good hit. Ow. Oh, I'm upside down.
I must say the new light effects are pretty nice.
I didn't change the light effects, man. Same old things.
What's that?
I didn't change the lighting effects yet.
I know, but whatever the missile strikes and stuff like that are a lot different than what I remember.
Okay, fair enough.
And again, maybe I never got hit by a missile.
Well, missiles weren't a thing yet, and then now they
Yeah.
are. Now I can see you guys going at it down there.
Yeah.
So this
They're
guy,
supposed to plummet when they lose their reactor?
if they lose the reactor, they can't power their thrusters. They drop like a rock. Look at this guy go. He's just gonna hit the ground. He's gonna stay there.
Refresh my memory. What's targeting enemy ships besides T?
Uh,
T will do it, but you hit T twice, and it'll just toggle between the two closest.
Yeah, but all I'm getting are missiles right now.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem. Oh, it's the star-shaped one. That's actually one of their ships just coming straight at you.
No, it's one with 3 wings.
Oh, okay. You sure? Because that's kind of, I don't see any missiles. I just see, well, see? See, now he's going to go, and now he's going to hit the ground, and he's going to stay there.
All right, Cyborg A, number 6.
Yeah.
That's
See?
the one I'm looking. That's the only one I could target right now.
Alright, hit T. I'm getting distracted. See, they got a full-blown city going. Unfortunately, our builder bot is kind of going off by
did
the
you
wayside.
allocate yourself enough money?
Yeah, I did. I don't know why it's glitching. I mean, like anything else, it worked fine before, and it's worked fine for months, and now it's just going crazy.
But I mean, occasionally, I've had that occasionally the builder bot just doesn't do what I'm telling it to do.
Yeah, well, that's why I was going to put those cancel commands in. See if I can get it to actually respond. So, since this is kind of borked anyway, let me show you how to build a very, very silly-looking ship.
So easily, the reactors must be practically on the outside of the ship.
Well,
I think
if you hit in the
you-
right
you
spot,
have
that's
a
all it
bug
takes.
With your missiles, Arthur.
What's that?
Come fly over to me and
Okay.
watch what's going on.
Okay.
And I can't target anything else but this damn thing.
If I remember correctly, you can cycle through enemies holding shift, and then left and right. Oh, and then it just crashed.
Sorry. You actually crashed? Or?
I actually crashed.
Well, this one missile is repeatedly attacking me over and over and over.
Yeah,
again.
I've seen that Ernest being dogged by this one missile.
And it's dead on my radar. It's
Yeah,
on my,
if you target
on my
if you target the missile, it's listed as total ship death.
Okay.
and it's still just bombing the ever loving crap out of me.
All right. Well, then obviously that's a bug in the system.
Huh.
Yeah, I got a move location structure from a move location command. Did someone go somewhere?
Could it be this missile that will not die?
I don't know. It's possible. That seems very strange that such a thing would happen, but okay. Well, server's down anyway. I didn't even get to show the new craziness. So let me show you the new craziness real quick.
Maybe we should try to do a let's play where we use team viewers so that you can still have one of us to talk to, Art, but you can go through the let's play.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So we've already got spammed evidently on the Twitch channel.
Oh yeah, there wasn't. I saw it. It just wasn't a good time to mention it.
Yeah. No, that's fine. All right. So should I go from one of the older save games or just start from scratch?
I don't know.
I'll start from scratch. Why not? Actually, let me back out. I want to see if this works. If I load game, oh, it's not gonna let me. It's already decided to host. Oh, that's gonna be a mess. All right, let me exit the game. So obviously it's being that way. Lovely things about alpha programs. All right, I'm gonna load the first save game so at least we're started somewhere. All right, so server's back up. I'll risk my thrust here.
I am back in.
Yes. All right, let's see where we actually were in the first few minutes. I think we were just shooting everybody. We weren't even doing anything.
It was just after the gravity test.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting on the ground.
So what do you think of? I actually will admit that the gravity being turned back on was kind of inspired by someone I was talking to because they were trying to get gravity running in their game.
Oh yes.
And
Remember the
so
conversation now.
I was going to one of those. Hey, you know what? I wonder how much it would really take for me to turn gravity back on. I looked through the code. It's like not a hell of a lot. Yeah, it was actually only it was still turned on from when the ground pounder was still there, which is the FPS of the game, which isn't really there anymore, but there's still some pieces left in there. And I went, but it actually was set on to actually work on planets, but it was just turned off. I went, okay, well, let's turn it back on and see what we get. And you see the results. I'm not 100% happy with it because you still do tend to go down a little bit. The computers inside your ship should compensate for that better. So I gotta handle that differently. But it's interesting when you guys were flying around, when you kill a reactor or the thrusters, they sort of go and start bouncing off the ground and stuff like that.
Made it a lot easier to tell what the active enemies are.
Yes. Most certainly. Oops, I double clicked the wrong way. I want that one. So I gotta do mines. And while that's doing that, I will sell this to build a warehouse, because I can. Now, you never bothered to build a warehouse originally, did you?
Nah. It was a resource crunch on our enemies right here.
True, true.
It's one of those things where, like, if the enemy was really far away and I got comfortable with the space we had, I'd build a couple warehouses, but I'm still not really quite certain that... I understand the concept, but I'm not quite certain that you have it yet where they're serving their actual intended purpose.
Not as of yet. Meaning they
Yeah.
do function, but they don't give you a tactical advantage yet. There should be, for example, set limitations inside the refineries of mines saying it only holds so much resources before they stop, because they have nowhere else to put it.
I think the greater problem is that because the enemy's right here and a constant nuisance, I have never hit a point where I felt like I had stashed up unlimited resources. I was always using all of them.
Yeah. I can certainly appreciate that. So I'm back out. I will now tell this guy to build mine. Need to say this is very typical RTS commanding. Now, I can build a normal... I'll build a Cthulhu ship first, then I'll build a normal ship, just because I can. So I kind of want to show off what I've been working on the last 2 weeks. I didn't get it as completed because of the questions and such behind the live stream. The live stream, the crowdfunding launch.
Right. Yeah, I really don't know what you mean by Cthulhu ship. I'm excited.
It's kind of neat. It's kind of why I made this. I knew it was always in the back of my head to make this kind of interface to build ships. It's a lot easier, and it's a lot easier to completely abuse the hell out of everything.
Who's shooting?
I have no idea. I hear them. Alright, well, it's behaving at least. Alright, so let me go back out to... I will go make a ship design while that's doing what it's doing. Actually, I have to make sure that the factory is actually built. So let me go grab that. So Matt and I did spend some effort into making sure that the some of the things are more stable. Yeah, I'll put that there. Let's put that on the screen here. I hear someone shooting. Oh, you're just hanging out there, just shooting the ground?
Yeah, just testing some stuff.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, let's go back to the thing here.
They are building a factory.
So,
They haven't built a refinery yet.
yeah, it depends on the order they do it. Like I said, when I update the AI, that's all that's going to change. But
They have a mine. They have a looks like a warehouse, a reactor, a mine, a research lab, and now a factory.
And a ship.
they do have a ship. Do they have a ship?
First ship is out.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that. They queue it up so okay, it's a second builder, but they queue it up
So
so
that's
that like a ship
interesting.
comes out the moment the factory is done. What's this that other thing flying up? No, it's not a builder bot. It's a needle this time,
Okay.
but it is flying away from me. I don't feel like chasing it down across 12,000 feet.
Maybe I should just decide not to tell the builder bot to actually build something. It's sitting over the warehouse, just sort of sitting there. And if it's waiting for getting enough stuff. Usually that's usually what it is, but...
Usually what it is, yeah.
Alright. So while that's doing that, I'm going to make an abomination. So this is the shipbuilder screen, which you've probably seen in the past. But we added a new thing called the Quick Designer. Now, in here, there's the Auto Helper and the Auto Builder. What they both do is, here's the Auto Builder. It'll tell you what it is. Basically, it'll build an entire ship based on the parameters you give it, both over here, down here, etc. Okay, fine. The Auto Helper just completes out the ship. You just want to drop a couple weapons, and there you go. The problem is that this entire thing gets very, I can drop this over here, etc. It gets very detailed, which is fine, and that's fine for certain things, but in the long run, it can take a while to build something, in the sense of designing something. The auto builder is the completely opposite end of that, where you can quickly build a ship, but then the AI is making all the decisions, and that's not necessarily what you want to do. So I want to come up with something in between. Now, I'll admit this is sort of inspired by how I've seen other 4X games do it. So we click on this Quick Designer, and this pops up. Now, you might have seen this last week, and it looked like a garbage fire because we didn't have the graphics for it yet. And I'm not saying the graphics are finalized here, but you can definitely see it's a lot nicer looking than before. So you can start adding things by hand. These are all the different things we have researched in the system. Here are the engines and such. But even that would mean, okay, you still have to know how to build a ship, right? Well, you can click defaults, and it'll put in an entire ship, the thrusters and the reactor, the armor, the cockpit, and even this first little thing we refer to as our Happy Dappy beam weapon. Now, one little fun little thing is I can come up here and say I want 20 of them. Not 120, 20 of them. All right? Or you can move this up and down, and this will change the number if you want them to. You can see how big and small this gets over here, depending on what happens. So if I manually enter this, I can say I want, say I want 15. Now, the reason why I didn't take before, if I enter, then it takes. And now when I change this, it knows that's the number I had. If you don't do that, it assumes that you didn't want to keep it. So let's put this up to like 30 guns, because we can. Alright. And of course it's not working. Why aren't you? It's always something. So I guess it wasn't updating it. So let me put in 30. So now I can click apply. And it actually made this ship. Now I'm going to hook up this button. This will actually save it so you actually can build this thing. You wouldn't want to fly it because the engines aren't set right yet. There's still a couple things I need to finish up on, but that's one of the minor things. But if you look over here, alright, of course, the demonstration I was going to show doesn't work. Let me go with different default here. Alright. Part of the problem is getting to a ship that will play nice with some of the things I'm doing, so I'm going to put like 37 and whatnot, right? Apply, close. And what's funny is you go in here, you can see all the guns set up over there. I guess it's only going to go for the newer ships. So that's my demonstration is... Alright, well that's another bug I didn't know about. What else is new? Always when you're testing. Let's see. Trying to... say, of course, that was the one that would have worked. Alright, that'll work. Okay, so I am now going to do the abomination on this one. And then hit apply. And then close, and then this should work. There it is. So it concentrated all the guns right up front there. So when this thing fires, you have 20 guns all going through this little section right here, just vaping everything. So that's what I mean by the Cthulhu ship. When I did one that was flatter, the guns were more spread out, and so it just looked like this giant set of teeth coming out, just going everywhere because you put that many guns on it.
Yeah. The one who's shooting it up there, let it go. Too late.
Yep. So did the builder bot ever bother to actually, ever bother to actually build a building I told it to do it? Or just sitting there still?
Well, I don't know. We've been doing NAT control.
Yep, it's still just sitting there. Maybe I won't build a warehouse next time, so you can never do it.
I gotta say, it's awesome. They launch one of the nets at us. We take out the engines or the reactor, and it just continues in a nice smooth curve down to the planet.
It'd be, well, the only way it could be better is if there were collision mechanics in. If they hit the planet enough velocity, you get a nice boom.
That was the thing. I mean, it does know you hit. It's just a matter of like, okay, well, how do I do the damage? You know, how much damage should I have? That kind of thing.
I just crashed.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So I'm just moseying my way over to their base. So it looks like they have a couple ships out there that are still doing their thing.
Yeah, it looks like I crashed as well.
Matt,
Yep,
do you
I
know
crashed.
where it ate itself?
I know where I crashed.
Which was?
Location, the
Yeah, this is the same thing we were having
move
before.
location. There was a location structure with no parent.
Was that from the move location thing? Because I was getting that earlier.
Correct.
Oh, great, we have a new bug. Yay. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. But that's kind of things in a nutshell. I can show you very quickly how to not have a abomination ship. You can come over to the auto builder. Let's crank up the size just for ha-has. And we could build a big ship like that. We want engines, and we want reactors, and I'll make sure we have 100% power. And then we simply say beam superiority, and then build it. And literally it was just that easy to do it. And so we have armor and everything else like that. So there's all the pieces. Let me go to the main screen here. And since we never actually put what we wanted to look like, of course it didn't. Alright, I'll try that again then. I really should have it when it does that to... There we go. There we go. So now, as you can see, this has a bunch of guns up front. And it's a viable ship. So if I go save, and then I go back out, and I go to the factory screen, we'll have the ship here. And we look at the stats on it. Of course, when I go to the stats, it blows up. Save that same move location thing. I'm actually reading it from you guys. That's the wacky part.
Oh, the server die?
Yeah, it did. I don't know who's sending this to me though. That's what I don't get. Because why would any of you send me a move location thing? So I want to look in the. Yeah, I'm getting the command move location. Yeah. The new parent isn't there. And like I said, I'm getting it from someone, meaning one of you guys.
Is there something in the log we can look at?
Yes. I want to see who it is first. It's connection 1, which I will tell you who that is in a second. I'm going to see who's in socket 1 that can tell me who this actually is. Okay, that's not him. It is Jordan. So Jordan, you sent me something. So what were you doing?
Flying around shooting stuff.
Okay. All right, let me look at the log real quick. I'll exit this.
I didn't realize you were gonna ask for my logs. I'd already started the game, so my log's gone.
All right, let's not do that anymore, shall we?
Okay.
Because yeah, all right. What else do people wish to test since we're here?
I mean, if you want to actually play that Cthulhu ship, you could let me just build the city.
Yep, I'm gonna let
That'd
you
make
go do it.
factory
We'll
read.
do a normal game and have you do your thing. I mean, they have the stuff that they need.
Just a word of strangeness. I never closed out the program after the server crashed. It froze for a little bit, and now the game's continuing again. I know it's not live anymore, but I
Right.
picked up where it left off.
There should be more error handling to handle that fact, if you know what I mean. There isn't. I'm well aware of that. Like I said, it's early alpha. We haven't put in all the bells and whistles into the game yet.
Well, it used to just instantly crash for the desktop. It stopped doing that now.
The horror. Okay, the server's up. By the way, well, I can just do that tomorrow. I'll just do that then.
What's up?
Well, I wanted to get footage for the Indiegogo page, but I wanted it without the live stream accoutrements, if you will. So I'd redo the, building a ship and, building the city, etc. like that. Try to do something condensed. I could do it by myself, but then it's not as interesting, but it's still doable. So server's up if anybody cares. Now, I guess you weren't able to see via the live stream what I was doing with the new Quick Designer.
I was catching
I
bits
did.
and pieces of it.
Hello.
Fair enough. Yeah, when that's running, which should be in a few days. I mean, I would normally have had that done by now, but last week with the launch of the Indiegogo was just not going to happen. There's too many questions and things I had to clean up.
I caught a little bit of what you were doing.
Okay.
I remember some of it from the last meeting, but yeah, by the time you were getting into that, they were shooting at us.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. I just launched this and it ate itself. All right, because there wasn't enough War Masters. I thought you had stuff in there to prevent that.
I thought we did too, but also I see Adam as a War Master.
Yeah,
Oh wait,
Adam's a
Adam's
War
on a
Master
different
because
team.
he's the War Master, but he's beta. So he did his own thing. So now I got to restart the server again. So I think the check is make sure each team has a War Master because then it will eat itself if they don't.
I'll be the War Master in this one.
Well, it's fine, but it's just a bug note that we need to put in the system saying, hey, you can't start because even though beta might have a War Master, alpha doesn't. So it shouldn't let me start the server because of it. Alright, server's back up again. Now you can have multiple teams, just for those who are watching. I'll make myself Admiral. It's a matter of many teams you should want as long as you have players for it. So if everybody wants to start their own cities by themselves, and they can do it.
Just a side note, I had you were War Master on my screen, and I just like clicked on your name and it changed to Admiral. I don't know if I did that or if you just happened to click at the same time. But
That might have been you.
you were a War Master before you hit the start button. I just clicked on Admiral and it did turn from War Master to Admiral, but I didn't know I could change other people's settings as not the host.
Right now you can. That's not going to stay that way.
All right, well, it didn't used to be that way, so it's changed. Okay, I won't.
No,
click
no,
around.
actually it did used to be that way. We just never stopped it.
Oh, I thought it never worked that. Oh well, so I won't click around anymore then.
No, no,
Ernest,
no.
for that crime, you're gonna have to be deleted again.
Fair enough. So Adam evidently is going to be on his own, which is fine. Which means Adam should have his own builder bot, which I believe he does. So there's Adam, and see where Adam's builder bot happens to be. And there it is. So Adam, you do realize you're your own War Master, right?
Yep.
So you intend to do anything with your builder bot? You're just going to have him set up there.
Yep, I am.
Okay, fair enough. Because I see you're running that way. All right, Jordan, you're all set.
Yep. I've started. It's just now there's 3 builder bots, so it took me a minute to locate the one that I'd commanded.
Well, you should be able to just hit the builder bot button. Does that not
Yeah,
work?
I told it to build the building, and then I like to fly my ship down to be nearby it, so the perspective.
Oh, so I mean, it wasn't a matter you couldn't find it. It's a matter of
So we would just cycle through the targets.
Yeah.
In
All
the
right.
sim
Fair
screen.
enough. Fair enough. So for those who are watching, here's the builder bot that Jordan's messing with, and this should be Jordan right here. So he's telling it to go build a. And you know, you can mute your cell phone. You can't mute the house line. So there you go with that. All right. So I assume you're handling the. Oh, you're doing the double.
Yep.
Fair enough. Do you have the power to run two?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least it hasn't given me a problem yet.
Fair enough.
If the power numbers change when I'm not paying attention, that might become an issue. Meaning on the tech web.
Is that? Yeah, Adam, you went off to the far side of the Mars cap here.
Yeah. When I go to the nav screen, should I not be able to see the ground?
You should be able to see the ground.
Nope, I just see a starscape.
You got to rotate it maybe.
Yep, I'm rotating it all around. Mars is not there.
I don't have a problem seeing it. I mean, it blinks in and out sometimes, but
I have encountered that once in a while, and I've already made a note of it. So I would say just reload and see if that takes care of it.
yeah. So for ha-has, I zoomed out, so it shows where we actually are on Mars. I think it doesn't have some glitching to it, but
Frozen.
I just crashed the desktop.
I crashed. Give me one
Crashed.
moment to find the problem.
I think that was me. I think I just gave an order to the Adams builder bot to go off to seek his future somewhere else.
Because of you, I went on a soul-searching journey. I hate those.
Yeah, something like that. I think this is what Adam was seeing. I think I gimbal locked it. Yeah, I gimbal locked it. That's why this is having problems. Oh, no, I got it back. Okay. Why isn't this working the way it should? That shouldn't be doing that. Alright, well, since everybody died anyway, should we just look from the last save game then?
Yeah.
Alright. Always not a wonderful thing, setting a whole bunch of problems, but that's the way it goes. Trying to see what is the latest and greatest. What's over here? Alright, so we got up to 0? That doesn't seem right. I guess so. We're more than a minute in, weren't we?
Maybe.
Alright, let me hit refresh on that. I mean, I want to get the latest of the save games, and it's sort of like, it's saying we only got to the first one. Okay, fair enough. That's very strange.
Server up?
I was looking at the save games, so I didn't do that, but the server will be up in about 5 seconds, I guess. The player hosts first save. Okay. So now server's up. I'm very curious about this. Yeah, there's Adam way the hell back there. I see him. There's his builder bot. There's the closer guy here.
Alright, so this is before I did any of the research.
Yeah.
It still has the settings of all the resources I gave everyone, so.
Yeah. No, I mean the load save is relatively solid. It's one of the things in the game that really does seem to be, knock on wood, bug free. I know there's some issues with the scripting engine, getting that coming back correctly 100%. I haven't put any effort into that, but that's the only thing that's really outstanding on that still. And since it doesn't take that long to come back in, it's very recoverable.
For some reason now I can't go anywhere. My velocity is like 0.
Okay.
Were you in the nav screen when we crashed?
Yeah.
Okay, go back in the nav screen, then come back out.
Right. That's another known bug. Basically, when you go to the nav screen, it puts the AI in charge of your ship. And the problem is that when we come out of a server load from an old server save, if you will, it doesn't know that that's where you were. It just goes to what's the current status of your ship, not what screen you're looking at.
The same nav screen bugs that I've had to get used to.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you get out of the nav screen?
The same button, the solar system button.
Or you can hit the F11. Or F12 will take you to the sim screen, F11 will take you to the nav screen. The different high numbered function keys will take you to different screens very directly. If you hit the same one, it will actually take you back to the previous screen you were at. So for example, if I hit F11, which takes me to the nav screen, F10, which takes me to the asset screen, if I hit F10 again, it takes me back to the nav screen. If I hit F11 again, it takes me, well, back to the sim screen. So, one of those feature things. I will say, Ogre has a point for early game when you do multiplayer. There's not a hell of a lot to do. Now, one of the suggestions to kind of make that difference is right now the enemy's right on top of us. We know exactly where he is. Our sensors can easily see him. It's not that big of a challenge to know what's about to happen. If we move him further away, like as far as Adam is at this point, and not have the reticle see him from that distance, then you got a challenge. Then Samara's like, well, you got to find the enemy, because if we don't, He's going to get a whole city and a whole gnat storm coming at us before we know what hit us. By the
That would be
time,
more interesting. Yes, that sounds like fun.
yeah,
I figured at some point we would probably make the AI get spawned outside of sensor range, but like not literally on the other side of the planet. So some random semi-sphere centered on you.
yeah, that's not a problem to do. We just haven't put in sensor
ranges.
limitations yet. I've asked Adam to
Currently,
put
you
that
are
in.
omniscient.
Yes, currently you are. Um, that will be changed. I know I've asked Adam to put those limitations in the cockpits. I'm pretty sure he's already done it. I just haven't looked at anything to do it yet. Looks like Adam is finally having something to send. I guess he might be doing something with his builder bot or something. Or he's detecting some glitches, which are probably out there.
I saw something go like zipping by over the horizon. Maybe that was my builder bot.
I don't know. You'll find out. Hold. Oops, that's the wrong button. But at least it went to the newer.
Yep, that was my builder bot. Don't know why he's all the way out there.
Yeah, he's accelerating too. Bye, BuilderBot. Nice knowing you.
I only told him to basically build something directly below me, and I don't know what happened.
You clicked in such a way that he thought you wanted to have him go somewhere else. That's one of the glitches in the RTS screen.
This is why currently in the tutorial I've written out any mention of actually, as far as I'm aware, on the nav screen, the attack function works, but any kind of, I would like to direct my ship to go here does not currently work.
Yes, that's, like I said, the nav screen needs a lot more love, and everything else has had my priority, so I haven't gotten back to that to fix all that. That's probably going to come... And again, what's the priority? Do I put the new AI in, or do I fix the RTS screen? People wanted to be able to quickly build designs, because we were getting into those giant furballs the last session. So I was like, okay, well then I'll get that part going. And that's almost done. So I guess for the people here, what should be my next priority? Should it be making the nav screen less annoying? Should it be working on the new AI system? Or what do you think is most productive?
If the navigation screen would be the primary city controlling thing, I think that'd be pretty important to have that solid, right?
Oh, certainly. I mean, all this stuff has to be solid at one point or another. But it's a matter of what is the next thing. I'm still very curious. Go ahead. What's up?
You list those options again?
Work on the AI.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm going to finish up the quick designer regardless, but that's going to take me a few days. Oh, your builder bot is turned around, by the way.
Oh, maybe it just took one of those weird paths. Sometimes your builder bot needs to take a walk before it's ready to build.
You're not wrong, because it's heading right towards us.
It needs to conceptualize what it's about to build.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that the thing that's snaking across the ground in the distance?
Yeah, it's coming right for us.
Not now, boss. I'm pre-visualizing.
Yeah, there you go.
Honestly, I don't know how hard this is to make. Because the builder bot, sometimes it's just sitting there, and we don't know if it's doing something or not. I would like the ability to look at the builder bot and have it display to me what is it's currently doing.
Well, if you notice, I did put in that thing for you that when you order something, it acknowledges the order.
Yeah, it acknowledges the order. I just like to be able to click on the builder bot and have it tell me, current queue, build this building. Because then if it doesn't say that, then we know there's a problem.
Well, yeah, and then the problem is that we know there's an issue with the AI, which is I've been hesitant to try to put all the effort into fix, because I'm going to be replacing the AI system anyway. And so, why spend the time when it's just...
I think as much as I would love for the nav screen to be finished up, personally, I'm starting to feel more and more hampered by having to work with this AI.
Okay.
More and more I feel like the biggest thing stopping me from doing stuff effectively is that I give a command and I have to wait for dum-dum down there to figure out how he's going to do it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And more to the point, also makes the enemy less interesting, because sure they tend to get out gnats very quickly and then don't build a refinery, and so they get out worthless ships. And then by the time, and that's annoying for a little bit, but then by the time we have ships, I typically have 3 factories and a full infrastructure to support it.
Right.
And then you guys start spitting out massive death monsters.
Well, that's part of
and
the
that's
fun.
the game.
Yes.
So like it is starting to feel like the AI is really limiting our ability to have a fun game.
All right, that's fine, and that's a legitimate, view of things. What is everybody else's view? I don't debate that Jordan's view is not incorrect, because it is correct.
I would agree with the AI stuff right now.
So despite how annoying, I want to put the cancel button in at the very least on the nav screen, because when the builder bot decides that it wants to go on its own personal journey, like Adam's experiencing, there's no way to tell it to shut the hell up. And yeah, as far as knowing what its orders are, I should be able to maybe do a hover over or something like that to display that kind of thing as a pop-up, which would make a lot more sense. And that's kind of work on the nav screen, but it makes sense to do it. So, Ernest, your opinion is
the AI stuff.
The AI stuff. Maybe fixing the gravity a little bit here. Flying forward shouldn't make you want to go down again. AI stuff. So, Matt, what's your opinion?
I think if we can do the cancel button very quickly, that
Yes.
will be useful in a bunch of different places, because we can run it outside of the user interface just to clear out stuff if it gets stuck.
Right.
But honestly, as much as I know the AI is going to take a while, I'd like to be involved in that.
All right, the AI is not going to be done in 2 weeks, people. I hope you understand that. I mean, the infrastructure might be there, but they have to write the logic of the AI, which is different.
Yeah, I understand that much.
It's 2 different things.
Well, yeah, but at some point you have to start.
I do.
The thing
Very
is,
much do.
getting the AI infrastructure done will be interesting, and then we can have multiple people who can write AI patterns or thoughts or priorities or whatever it is.
Same problem
that we're going to be putting together.
Okay, I'd like to know who's doing this. So, same hole, same spot, same exact problem, and I got a read command. And let's see what it's from. It's from 0, so whoever joined first. Basically, someone sent me, as the server, a thing saying, hey, I'm moving outside of range. Is anybody going, like, exploring or something?
Adam's builder bot.
That would be a thing. Who's socket 0?
I'm in between people's bases, so I'm really not. The only thing I was doing is just.
It's Jordan again.
Circles.
Alright, well, I definitely wasn't exploring, but I will grab the log.
Yes, please do.
Which log do you need me to open up?
The RWM net log, because it's still coming from you.
RWM.log?
RWM net.log, that's right.
Not .back?
No, that's the backup of it.
Okay. Okay. What am I looking for? Like the very bottom thing?
The very bottom thing. You're looking for RTS command move location.
Okay. There's a lot of things you have to give me a sec. Oh, wait. Netcom RTS command send command move location 20.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole. I am going to copy this whole mess into.
No, the mess won't matter. The mess doesn't matter. What does matter, if either of us says PTR 1 and PTR 2?
Yes.
Are either one of them 0?
PTR 2.
PTR 2 is 0.
And
so,
3-4.
Okay, 3 and 4 is expected. It doesn't use 3 and 4. It does use PTR 2, which means you're sending me bad data, because it gets that and it goes barf, and it falls over. My question is, why?
If I just record that pointer 2 for that move location sends was 0, is that enough information for us to track it down later?
All right. So what's the problem? Is he's moving a ship. He's moving. Um. But my question is, why are you sending me this?
Does the command immediately under delink relink matter?
Yeah, that means you're transitioning sector boundaries. Something on
I've
your
also
system
got
saying to do it.
a string. Is netcom update ship client send ship 7? Is that normal?
Yes,
Okay, because that's most of my log.
it is. That's all the positional updates of all the ships moving around doing their thing.
Okay.
That's
But
standard
yes,
stuff.
I have move location, then immediately under that command delink relink
Yeah.
SS21 PRT1 along number PRT2 0.
But why are you sending that to me versus the server sending that to
I don't
you?
know, man.
It's all your fault, man.
I'm a content writer.
I got a crash in the same spot earlier
Yeah.
where a location did not have a parent.
It's the same problem. It's the exact same
problem.
bug.
So it's just there's some linking something somewhere.
I
on the
think
client
what it
end.
is. Here's I think what it is. You know how now you guys have blown stuff up at this point, yes, or no?
I haven't, but
All right. Has anybody blown up an enemy ship this go around? Has anybody blown up anything?
yes.
I did not.
All right. The only thing I can figure is, I could probably actually, since we're here, we're already screwed up the live stream anyway. Let me see which ship it thinks it is. How's that?
Okay. And you sure you don't want me to copy just these 2 lines into
No, it's not
the
gonna do any
Facebook
good.
chat?
It's not gonna do any
Okay.
good. I appreciate it, but yeah. So hold on for a second. Since struct.
Is any space of PTR 0 bad?
Not necessarily. It depends on the command.
We don't necessarily fill each one of them every time.
It's a generic way of sending stuff across. Oh.
Okay.
Oh. All right. This is one of the Cube of Evil boxes got blown up. And it must have fell through. It's just ship status 1, status 0. It's not blown up. Huh. Did someone try to play punt on the box?
You know what? Actually, I noticed earlier when we first started, and Adam blew out my engines, and I dropped like a stone. I proceeded to slide down a hill, but then because there's still that little bit of bugginess with the terrain interaction, I proceeded to slide up the hill next to me. So it's possible that if there's a box sitting on the ground, if it gets that terrain bugginess, it could sort of just hop its way across the terrain boundary.
And the boxes belong to me because I told the builder about to make them technically.
Right.
Fair warning. For a while there, I was actually behind you and pushing, which is why you were sliding up and down hills and moving around after your thrusters were dead.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't think it makes you go up hills. I think
One thing I did see that did look wrong was basically like when Matt fell from the sky, he never actually hit the ground. Like it's all his ship constantly basically bobbing up and down. Like it kept.
Yeah, there's an issue that the code goes, hey, if you hit the ground, have you go up 5 feet, and so there was actually code that was going to write that says, okay, if you're actually on the ground, you're not supposed to move, just be inert. And right now everything bounces, and I'm aware of the problem. Like I said, it was a quick thing to add the gravity. It doesn't mean I fixed all the other problems that went with it.
Yeah, it's like I don't know why it was coming from me before because I wasn't building buildings, but for this time, remember that I tend to build 2 research stations immediately, and that means that it has to do some mining of its own to build the mine for me.
So what happened was, according to this, one of the boxes fell through the ground and got to velocity. Yeah, that do it. Got to velocity negative 6,400.
Because
it kept on gravity, and
gravity, and there's no terminal velocity when you've glitched through the world.
Pretty much. And so it got to like negative. How many numbers is this? About negative like 1.6 million feet. So it kept dropping.
Feet per second, or just
no, that's where it was. Feet per second is the 6,000. So negative 6,400 is how many feet per second you're going down. So you're
So
going.
it blew right out the other side of the planet.
Well, no, it wasn't quite that, but it was going about a little
No,
over a mile a
Matt,
second
it
down.
went to Martian hell.
Yeah, it went to Martian hell.
It's a lot like real hell, but it sucks more.
I guess so.
It's full of Mars dust.
There you go. So what's happening is, because of the gravity, it's going off into La La Land, and I should put a check in that if it extends past a certain point, it should stop.
So what this probably means is that we potentially been like losing boxes this entire time, but we never paid attention because they're boxes and nobody cares.
Well, for this go round, because gravity's turned on.
I mean, it also just like maybe the boxes were doing weird things this whole time.
Yeah, I didn't actually notice that. When I looked at the enemy base, I saw the hexes that showed where the boxes were, like usually like 2 around almost every building.
Yeah.
I didn't actually visually see the boxes. I thought that was kind of weird. I guess they're like falling so hard they're going through the ground.
Well,
I
I
mean,
can turn off the boxes, turn off the gravity so that, or at least write something really quick so that if it knows it's a box, they'll do it, kind of thing.
Well, I mean, on the other hand, that does mean technically you coded gravity correctly. Gravity is an acceleration. You did not make the ground sufficiently dense.
Something like that. All right, so what would people want me to do? They want me to just turn off gravity very briefly, or they want me to encode something real quick to.
If you could encode something quick, that way you could find more gravity bugs by chance.
That's the spirit.
Oh God.
Well, if you turn it off and the next time we're playing something else comes up with gravity, then it's just he's repeating it. So if he just codes out the boxes and we get another gravity issue, then he'll know what else to fix.
Well, I don't want to outright turn off gravity because for that exact reason, but yeah. I have an idea. If all right. Basically, I'm saying gravity does not affect the boxes anymore until I can do a better patch than something this horrendous.
Alright, do I still need this log?
No, we know what happened, and thank you very much. That was useful.
Alright, so I'm going to restart the game then.
Yep. Okay. I should probably do it for buildings too, but buildings don't fall anyway. They're excluded from a different area for a different reason. Okay, there we go. Let's see if that works. Compiling.
Buildings don't fall, not with that attitude.
Something like that. Is it on fire? Yes.
It could be more on fire.
It could be more on fire. That is a wonderful series. It just really is. I have been watching the original, the normal Ultimate, and it really amazes me how much the plot's very, very similar.
The plot's basically the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even some of the attitudes and stuff like that are the same. They're definitely different characters, and nowhere near as hilarious, obviously, but because they take themselves seriously. But it's one of those, like, it's just amazing. Like the whole police girl plot. It's like I thought that was just kind of no, that was the whole thing. That really was the whole thing.
Yep. It's what makes abridging kind of an art form. It's more than just making fun of something. You're still taking the plot and using it, or using parts of it.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what makes the good abridged series really good.
All right. Should I go for one of the save games? Since. Ew.
Well.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to start from scratch because I mean, if it's already going down at a mile a second down, it's gonna do it.
Yeah, and then also Adam lost his builder bot in the beginning anyways. Now he gets a second
That's true.
opportunity.
All right, so server's up normally, so I'm gonna start from scratch again. So that shouldn't happen again. But I mean, like I said, you do one thing that thinks it's a great idea, and then it's up going, well, you have all these little gotchas in the mix.
Yeah. Is that Adams? He's having this problem, that problem. It's like, yep, I've been there.
Yeah, no. Well, that's what I mean. I can fix those. I just the biggest problem with the game is it's not that it's unfixable. It's a matter of having time to fix it. Um, everything has to have a priority. Big features take a long time, so I spend weeks on something, and it's one feature, and the other bugs still exist. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like this, the Quick Designer as a good example. It's been kicking around for maybe a month, let's say. It was only really worked on in earnest, so to speak, uh, in the last 2 weeks. But we got the graphics from Paul and all the rest of that stuff. But it's basically running minus the fact of being able to select your speed and your shielding, and your armor and stuff like that, and your hull is a big thing. But everything goes cleanly to the main system, which means anything you make in there, you can actually pilot. You wouldn't necessarily want to, but you could do it. So once everything else is there, it's really up and running. I don't expect it to take me another couple days to do it. I know that at least the crowdfunding people have mentioned that the flight tutorial is nice and all. It'd be interested in getting the main tutorial up and running, which I know Matt and Chris and Jordan have been working on. Adam, by the way, the server's up.
Okay.
And so
yeah,
I don't
been
know.
Having fun writing that.
What's that?
Or at least I've been having fun writing that. I don't know how much fun it is for Matt.
Not as much as fun as you're having, I'm sure.
Well, we'll see how it goes. It gets a little easier to do scripting after every chunk of it.
I still think that we should make a tool for that to make it a lot easier.
Absolutely. Oh.
The joys of spam calls. All right, is everybody here? So let's start. Testing my firing. There you go. Now I have the sound mostly turned down because the sound in the game is kind of overwhelming. I still like the absolutely ridiculous ships that we made last time that had like 20 guns and all the rest of that fun stuff. That was just great. But
get you there.
Yep.
So the screen for the War Master F10
Yes.
is graphics less on my screen right now.
Okay, it is not on my screen.
If you try to drag in a particular direction, does anything happen?
Like up or down?
I see the bar move, but it's still just a black box with the white with the white text and white icons with no background.
Interesting. It usually just does that when it's loading in graphics.
That's actually really and you did an update, obviously. I have a full thing on my screen. What happens when you click the plus in the upper left?
Everything is black. There's no background at all. It's all I can see names and stuff, and the little chain pops up to change the budget and stuff, but I don't have the actual colors. So I'm going to exit out and come back in.
That's okay. That's extremely strange. If that persists when you load in the game before you actually hit join or anything like that, you can exit the game and look in the log and look for the term error and see if it's missing files or something.
Yeah, well, this is the first time. Last time we were playing, and the War Master screen was fine. It's just this time I got nothing, so I'll just exit out and come back.
That's disturbing and very surprising. I mean, having things come in black is nothing new. That's why we can get into the game very quickly, but it loads it in. What system are you on? Meaning how many cores? And is it multi-threaded or
it's an
hyper-threaded?
i7, so it's 4 cores at least.
And it's an i7, it's hyper-threaded. So that's not it. I know Jordan had that problem because he's running Xeons, and there's no hyper-threading on the version of Xeon he has.
Oh, this is the first time it's happened. So
Okay.
I mean, the entire time we were playing today, that screen has always been there. It's just this time for some reason. No.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That just seems awfully strange. Now, I'm not the War Master. Should I be able to read Jordan's messages?
It's back.
I do not believe that I have implemented any restrictions on message displays at this point, but I can make a note to do that.
I think it's probably a good idea.
Damn, Arthur's gonna see all my messages where I plot to betray everyone.
I wonder if I can actually delete his messages.
That'd
Yes,
be nice.
I can. I'm doing it.
Cool.
I should not be able to delete his messages. I'm not the War Master.
I found a weird spot of the terrain. If you look at our city, I'd like to inform you, I definitely didn't tell these buildings to all be on top of each other.
Oh, gods. Should even take a look.
Nonetheless, our city is very compact and easy to defend.
Oh, gods. Yeah, I definitely have to put the code in saying, hey, you gotta have a minimum safe distance.
Nah.
Well, the funny thing is, there's stuff that, you know, if you try to run into these things, it won't let you get that close. It'll stop you and, you know, make it go across the top. So they should push against each other. I don't understand why it's doing that. I guess I have to put an additional check in or something. So you have a refinery. Oh, you do have, like, literally everything on top of each other. Now, I see you actually doing the whole box thing.
Mm-hmm. Because I'd like to build 2 research. I get through that early steps of research much faster with 2 labs.
What the hell's that? Why are the boxes flowing? They're running away. They're running away. Holy.
Good news, the slime is flowing again.
That shouldn't be happening.
I don't see them doing that. Oh no, wait, yeah, they're bouncing.
Yeah.
They're bouncing off the ground.
Yeah, no, that's just very, very strange.
Mars is a
After all
bounce
these
castle.
times murdering them, they finally got wise.
I guess so. You also have the whole issue of, you know, it's like, well, you have to remember, it was at a, what is that, an unexplained sponge migration. The sponges migrated them 1.5 feet. That was from Ghostbusters, if you care. But in any case, why did they migrate? Because I sort of looked at them and they went, okay, I'm going to pick up and go. Jordan, did you get Aries to do this thing?
I don't like to talk about Ares while the game is open.
I can
For
appreciate
much
that.
the same reason I wouldn't talk about Hannibal Lecter where he could hear me.
Fair enough, fair enough. What I would like to do, actually, because it can be done, is right now this is a parallel noise surface, just a series of mountain ranges. I'd like to get some more common craters and stuff like that going on with it. So it doesn't. Right now it's just a bunch of rolling hills, which is fine, but may not look quite as Marsies as it could.
I am crashing the desktop.
Ooh, I crashed the desktop at the asset screen.
Really? That should not have happened. Although now I'm pausing. Oh, I'm not pausing anymore. I'm fine on the asset screen. Looks fine to me.
Okay, can you check our power?
You are underpowered.
Okay. What I'll probably do is I'll turn off the research stations for just a tick to get another reactor built.
I wonder if I can do it. Alright, let's pause. I don't know what's going on.
I'm joining back in right now.
Sorry, I was writing down the error.
Okay. Alright, it's running again.
There was an OGT value that was garbage for one of the icons
Well, that's
somewhere in the asset screen.
That's definitely a thing.
Those were words.
Those were words. Yeah,
And
one
rejoin.
reactor is not enough to run two research labs and a refinery.
Interesting. It used to be.
Yeah, well, Adam keeps changing the stats, so. not
I
anymore.
haven't changed those recently, so
It's what it is now.
Strange, because that's like literally what I've done every time
Joining again.
we've played. Is I build, except for when you specifically told me not to, is I built 2 research labs so that I could get some of the early research done quicker.
No, it has enough to run the research labs, but when you put the refinery and the
Well,
The
yeah,
mine
that's
down,
the
you
thing,
don't have enough.
this is the build order I've always done is 2 reactor, research lab, refinery, mine, reactor.
Mhm.
This is the first time it's given me nonsense. I don't know where the builder bot's going. Definitely not where I told him to go.
Oh,
I guess
God.
he's pre-visualizing again.
Fair enough. All right, where's he going? See if you can find him first. Oh, he's on. Oh, he's actually building something at least.
That's not where I told him to go.
Yeah. Well.
But
What's he doing?
and now he's coming back.
He was mining. I saw him start the mine. Maybe determined that there's more stuff to grab. I don't know.
Yeah, this AI is not good anymore.
All right.
It's not going to cut it anymore.
I'm not going to tell you that once the new AI infrastructure is better or in there in 2 weeks doesn't mean that it's going to be ready. I'll make it a priority to make the shipbuilder AI the one that's altered first.
All right. Well, we have another reactor.
So we have power then.
Let's see how we're doing.
Or not.
I
I see
That's
2
weird.
reactors.
It
Oh, I
says
know
we
why.
have no power, but we're still pulling in lots of stuff.
I think what's happening is that the capacitors inside the buildings are still refilling.
Gotcha. Well, I'll build another reactor just to be safe.
Yeah.
And then I'll start churning out factories.
Okay. Oh, see, there it goes. It was just replenishing the. Every building has its own capacitance of energy, and so when that's drained to zero, because it was, that will be refilled before a generic pool that's in the installation gets filled up. And that's what you see. When the building screen gets up, you can go to the individual buildings, and you've been able to verify that. But right now, you got plenty of power.
Okay.
So.
Well, that factory is going to be delayed by the builder bot. I guess he just likes that one spot. He's like, no, boss, the minerals over here are real good.
I guess so. Or is he? Oh, no, he's over there. Well, he's definitely doing his thing. He's doing his crazy dance.
See, I'm hoping you can at least fix that.
I mean, I know what that is. That I could probably easily fix, regardless of what to do with the other AI.
Crashed the desktop with a laser beam in my face.
Okay. Matt, did you crash?
Yes, it did.
Was it with that move location thing?
There was a ship stats with no layout structure.
Ooh, that's bad.
This ship that was coming at me was different than any of the other ones.
So I see you're building another reactor.
It's the red Zaku.
Yep. What is going over there, man? Looks like their builder bot's just going crazy.
Joining back in. And I am dead on the ground.
As one it would be.
Where you belong.
Have another ship.
Well, should I start designing some abominations for us to actually start piloting?
Yes, if it's built the reactor, then the next thing I'm going to build is a factory.
Alright, let me turn around before I get shot.
Yeah, what's coming out now is pretty heavy hitting.
Whoops, and then I died. Same move location. Bloody hell. Should I track it down? It's a ship. I thought I patched that.
I am sliding down the hill, so.
Well, the server is pause, so let me check to see what actually died here. Same thing, read a command from somebody else, and it's a box. And the box isn't going that far. I mean, where is it that it ate itself? So this doesn't make any sense. It's definitely one of the boxes. But why would something say, hey, this is going to glitch out to wherever? See, the coordinates aren't anything special. So that's very strange that this would glitch out like that. So new parent 0. Let me see who sent it. 0. Which means... Hold on. And it's Adam this time. Adam, were you going off somewhere else? Why would Adam?
Not particularly. I was up a little higher than normal, but not especially.
Yeah, but it's a box that went nuts, but your system said that there's a problem.
I have no idea.
All right, that's a maintenance thing. So, Matt, can you mark down that basically clients can't tell the server that something's moving locations, only the server can?
Gotcha.
So, say it's basically move location is what's causing the problem. See, what's partially happening is the server is the authority where everything is, so the client telling the server something changed causes a problem. And this seems to be kind of a thing.
Server goes like malfunctioning, Eddie.
Something like that. That's really
what? Explode.
Something like that. So, what do we wish to do today? Do we wish to call it? Do we should try it again, or what will we do?
I really want to get you guys to that ship, but it's 5 o'clock and we can't seem to get through these bugs.
I got another half hour myself.
Okay. I mean, we can try for another half hour, but I got a feeling however many minutes this is when it decides the glitch. And since it's coming from the clients, it's going to keep doing it.
Yeah, I'm okay to stop, so it doesn't matter. I'm open up until 5:30.
Yeah.
I mean,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think with a repeating problem like this, it's better to just, cut it off and keep the live stream, to relevance stuff rather than just bashing our head against the wall publicly.
Pretty much. So we know what it is. We know how to fix it. We know the one fix with the box, which I'll do a cleaner fix for that. But the consensus is
for your boxes to be flinging themselves into the sky.
Yes. But the consensus is for me to basically start working on the AI, which may take a while, mind you.
Yep.
All right. Ernest, is that your assessment too, Adam?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, AI definitely would basically help things.
All right. Keep in mind, new AI doesn't mean all of a sudden it fixes the problem. It just means that it's fixable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The new AI is based on what's called utility theory, and so it makes decisions rather than simply following a script. Because right now it's a state machine. It goes, okay, I've been ordered to do such. I have different stages, and each stage I make a decision, and it's sort of like, choose your own adventure inside the AI, which is a standard old way of doing AI, and it works, but to a point. But also makes the AI very predictable, because it is by definition. It also makes it kind of dumb, so it doesn't react very well to anything that's new. The new system, because of the way it thinks and how it decides what to do, because it literally does decide, that's a very different situation. So as long as you put the actions in there correctly, it will do some interesting things, the things you didn't necessarily expect it to do. Because it will actually think versus just, I follow the script. Obviously, you have to make those actions still wanting to do different things, but you approach it differently. You basically go, okay, I make this decision because these other things were already satisfied, versus it's the next thing in the script. You see the difference? So if you go, hey, I need food, well, you have an option. You can go down to the fridge, or you can go out and eat. Well, one of the things you take care of, he's like, well, do I feel, one thing, what's my mood today? Do I feel like driving somewhere? Do I want to spend all that money or not? And those two qualifications say whether or not, in and of itself, whether or not you decide to go out to eat or order in or something else like that. Whereas the third thing might say, hey, do you have food in the fridge? If you don't, then that eliminates this other possibility of just make something out of the fridge. You see what I mean? That's how it will think. Versus right now, it goes, I'm at step 1. I can branch to step 2 or step 25. I hope that makes more sense of what the new way of thinking is going to be with it.
Makes sense to me.
Okay. Great, you can write the AI then.
The thing is, when this is finished, writing AI is basically going to be you set variables for a particular personality's desires.
Mm-hmm.
User
and
entered
the
your
infrastructure
channel.
takes care of it, right?
Well, the AI is blind to the world, so you have to have a repository of information they can take information from. The desires can be one of those factors. So
Gotcha.
you can have a personality matrix that says, okay, how aggressive I am, how turtley am I, that kind of thing. We'll come up with like different things of what they mean. But then you have to write the actions to look at those.
Gotcha.
And react. That's what I was saying before about. Remember I mentioned about what mood you're in, whether or not you feel like going with somewhere or not. And it's not just you do or you don't. It's on a curve. So you define everything in curves.
Right.
And it's how it all adds together.
It's like how in Civ, Gandhi's choice to always go nuclear is based on his personality.
Well, there you go. Now, I mean, I know they are starting to do like deep learning with some more modern games and stuff like that. I get that. I'm not there yet.
We'll have deep learning AI.
Possibly, yes. We'll see. This is something I know I can do. The deep learning, I understand the concepts of it. I've seen lots of videos on it. I do find it interesting. I don't want to go chasing a squirrel or chasing the dragon, as the case may be. It's one of those get something up and running.
You really need some sit down and mess around time to get that remotely close to working.
Right. Now, the good news is the engine is very modular, which means that if we do decide to go, you know what, the utility theory is not good enough anymore, we're going to go over to deep learning or something like that. It can be pulled in and out without affecting the rest of the engine. That's the beauty of the way the design's put together. So it's not like, oh, if we make this decision, it's integrated into the system forever. No, it's not. Everything's always able to be pulled out and put back in, etc. So it's certainly not really that much of a problem. So I'm happy that I get to finally work on the AI. I've been wanting to do this for months. Originally, I was going to use GOP, and I found out that wasn't the thing anymore. So I'm very looking forward to gnashing my teeth on this whole new way of doing the AI, to be honest. All right, I do still want to get the other main tutorial put together, etc., because I think the Game Jolt release and what other people play with will understand a lot more about the game than just the space combat part.
Well, we're working on it.
Once that's going. So that's going to have to be done in parallel, but yeah, it's one of those things. In any case, I appreciate everybody coming by. And sorry today because of other things we're adding in wasn't as interesting. But next time, obviously, the Quick Designer will be up and running. Some of the gravity things will be deglitched, that kind of thing, and we'll definitely go from there.
All right.
So I look forward to it. Thank you all for coming, and I shall speak to you very soon.
Yeah, see you later, then.
Yep, see you later.
User disconnected from your channel.